I just think it's funny
think
to
of
open the
something.
show on something funny.
I know.
And
So then you just try and say something funny.
Sometimes it comes along naturally, and sometimes it doesn't. And I never know when it's going to come along naturally. So I'm just sitting here waiting, and it's not coming along naturally.
Switch to your podcast voice.
Vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow to view, vow, 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 vow to view,
Vow to view each other's movies, even though we don't always like them. But it's okay because we love each other and movies too.
Hey everyone, welcome to Vow to View, a Doof Media podcast all about marriage and the things we make each other watch. My name is Elyse Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together,
We're the Dailies. Yes, this is the weekly podcast where my wife, Elyse, and I each choose a movie around a theme of our choice, and then we make each other watch it. It's a show about marriage, about sharing the things we love, and about learning about relationships and each other sometimes. With Father's Day this coming Sunday, the theme that we're doing right now is Dads We Love. Last week, I talked about National Lampoon's Vacation, and this week, Elyse has come to me with 1990s Three Men and a Little Lady.
the sequel.
Three Men and a Baby.
Yes, the sequel to Three Men and a Baby.
Yeah, you went with that.
Possibly the middle of a trilogy to maybe Three Men and a Bride.
Is that a movie?
They were talking about it.
Ugh, I'm glad they didn't pull
They're
that
still in
trigger.
talks. I would like to have them see that.
Those men are so old now.
Oh my gosh, it would be so fun,
I
though.
love me some Ted Danson.
Oh.
Anyway, so we're going to talk all about that movie and
Yeah.
why Elyse chose the sequel and not the first one, even though I've seen neither of them. But first, Elyse,
You don't need to really have seen the first one to see the second one for this one.
we'll see. We'll see.
I don't think. Yes.
But first, it's time. What's
For
part?
not The Bachelorette.
No Bachelorette
What?
this week.
Remix? Hang on. Scotty,
What?
why? Why
Why?
can't we do it tonight? Why can't we talk about The Bachelorette tonight?
Because a man named Steph Curry is currently battling a man named Kawhi Leonard on the court of the basket ball.
yes.
It's the NBA Finals right now. The NBA Finals are on ABC. ABC is where The
Bachelorette
is
is
on,
on,
and
yeah.
game 5 is tonight. And so...
So they're airing tomorrow due to the NBA schedule.
and it's just a bummer that
So-
I'm not going to be able to watch it because I've got to
I
record
mean-
my other podcast. There's just no time. There's really just... I guess we'll just have to stop.
I guess what we
watching.
could do is just once you're done, then we could record something just really quickly.
Once I'm
and just
done
release
recording,
it.
we've got Ward,
Yeah.
the show that
Summertime, Elyse. She's up so late.
I finish very late at night.
Yeah.
Elyse, very
well,
late.
last night I heard you turn on the air conditioner and you were still at work.
Yeah, I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't bother to come in and spend time with me.
Oh my God. Anyway, so we don't have to talk about the Bachelorette. Thank God. The Warriors are leading the Raptors
They
62-56 at halftime.
Okay, who's up in the series though?
The Raptors are leading 3-1.
So Golden
this-
State really does need to win tonight.
Yeah, this is a winner go home situation. It'll be winner go home for Golden State until they go
So
home.
who do you want to win?
The Raptors.
You do.
Yeah, I'm tired of
You like
Golden State.
Canada?
The Raptors, I don't think the Raptors, up until this year, the Raptors had never won a playoff game before. And now
Yeah.
they're in the NBA Finals. So,
That's pretty Cinderella story.
yeah, those are the teams I like to support.
Okay. Well, Scott, because we weren't talking about The Bachelorette,
Mm-hmm.
and since we don't really talk about the NBA Finals, because we don't really watch basketball as much as we wanted to, we were kind of, at the beginning of the season, like, we should really watch basketball again this
There's
season.
just so
And you
many
know what
games.
happened?
There's just so many
It's
games.
just a long season.
We got
It's
so much
all
Bachelor to
sports. They're
watch.
so long. So we did watch something else, though, that came out this past week.
Uh-huh.
And it had 3 episodes,
Uh-huh.
and they're all kind of a letdown. But
Yeah, we watched
Black Mirror.
And I think we
Yeah.
should say up front, we're not going to spoil these episodes. We're going to talk very high level
Okay.
about them.
I'm going to try really hard.
Please do.
And Scott-
if you spoil, I will go in and editing and bleep you out.
Okay.
Although I'm probably not going to do that because it's going to take a lot of time.
Okay.
So just don't.
I'm going to try my
spoil.
hardest. And if I do accidentally spoil something, I am so sorry.
I'll
I'm
cut it.
so
I'll cut it.
sorry, guys.
I'll cut it. So, Elise, before
Yes.
we talk about this season of Black Mirror,
Yes.
what do you think about Black Mirror overall?
I like the idea of Black Mirror when it's not like super, I think like horror scary. Like there's a couple episodes that either like very unsettling and like they were just trying to do it for a shock factor sort of thing. And then there was that one episode with Kate Hudson's brother that just like terrified me. And I don't remember exactly what happened. And so I don't really want you to go back and look at it and talk about it, because if it does, then the whole like visual things of what happened in the episode are going to start flooding back into my mind and I'm going to not be able to sleep well tonight. So please don't do that. But there are other parts where I think that it really does take an interesting stance on where technology is leading and how it could affect us. And I appreciate that. And I really think that it's a good examination of what we need to be mindful of and what we need to be careful of, to the extreme sometimes, yes. But I think that sometimes it takes people to see the extreme in order to start making changes in the present.
Yeah. I think that's what it was, and I don't think that's what it is anymore.
Yeah, not this season, I don't think.
No, I think these episodes are bad. I think they're
I
really
didn't really
bad.
like them all.
I didn't like. I mean, the one I liked the most was the first one with Anthony Mackie in it.
That was the truest to, I think, what it had been in the past.
But it
as far
didn't-
as we're talking about, it didn't like.
Here's the level, and I'm doing our motions, which is bad. But here's the level
Yeah,
I wanted
Scott,
it to
this
be
is
on.
really bad audio right
Shut
now.
up. Here's the level I wanted it to be on.
Yeah,
Here's the level it's on, and
his
here's where I
hand
wanted
is
it to
right
be.
now about eye level.
Thank
with
you.
him.
Descriptive-
and then
descriptive text.
the other hand is now on top of the desk. So I would say there's a solid 2 feet difference in between his hands right now.
The core conceit of that episode has to do with VR and video game play.
Yeah, that's an interesting
And it has a lot of things to say
turn that it
about
took.
sexuality, about relationships, about how you identify as a person and the challenges and just relationships in general, like just marriage in general. It has a lot of things to say about these things, but it really only scratches the surface with the implications of that
It's true.
stuff.
That's true.
Really I feel like what Black Mirror used to do very well is really dive down into these things and really explore the full implications of whatever their sci-fi conceit was. And this is just like very just like, we'll just got a couple ideas here and we won't really go into depth with it at all. And I don't know, it just disappointed me. It just really disappointed me.
Yeah, the second episode, though, I had parts of that I enjoyed, specifically just the acting.
Andrew Scott.
He was phenomenal. I mean, watch the show, that episode, just in order to see what good acting should be like.
Yeah, Andrew
Because
Scott.
it was incredible.
Who played Moriarty in
Sherlock.
the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, and also played, I forget his name, but he played a character
priest in
in Fleabag, which is a
season
show we
2.
talked about. Did we talk about it here?
I don't remember.
talked about Fleabag
I've
on one of
talked
my
about
podcasts.
it with
I don't know.
people. You people, I'm not sure, but if I haven't, it's a good show too.
Yeah, he's remarkable in this episode,
Yeah.
and I think it is an okay episode of television. I think the problem I have with it is it's just not very Black Mirror-y.
Yeah, it did never really take it to something deeper. I
No, like I
thought.
feel like Black Mirror uses science fiction to explore implications of our existence with technology and our relationship with technology. And this was just a story just about our relationship with technology. And that's not really what I go to Black Mirror for. I go to Black Mirror to take that relationship, extrapolate it out into something weird and cool, and then see what happens. And that's not what this
and then
episode
scare
did.
me sometimes.
Yeah, and have depressing endings about how we're doomed and everything's bleak and you can't win, you can't beat the system, and you're always going to be miserable.
And then was the last episode, which I was actually most excited about because it had Miley Cyrus in it. And I've been looking forward to seeing Miley Cyrus in Black Mirror since I knew that Miley Cyrus was going to be in Black Mirror to see what they did with her. And
It's the worst of the three.
It was the worst one. I mean, they progressively got worse. And I was so disappointed.
Miley Cyrus is fine.
Yeah.
She is not the reason why this episode
No,
of TV is
she's
bad.
not.
She's fine. She's not a great actor, but she's not terrible. And I don't think the script is asking her to do too much. But it's just an episode that's all over the place. So it's ostensibly about our relationship to pop stars, right? Like it is a story that is talking about our relationships and the music scene and management versus creative and the things you have to do when you are a public figure. But it's
And friendship. and about like.
But it's just all over the place.
Technology
Like,
is a friend. It wanted to do too many things,
there
and
were
it didn't do any of them
too
well.
many things going on here. Like the main character is a little girl who's a huge fan of Miley Cyrus, but she's not even important to the overall message of the episode. I think.
No.
Like it's just.
So here's what we're saying: is if you're going to choose to watch Black Mirror, this most recent season, you need to watch them in the reverse order so that you actually go from the worst to the best,
Or
just don't watch them.
Just don't watch it.
Yeah.
I feel here.
Or just skip episode 3.
I said this. I said this on Discord, and
what did you say?
The more I think about it, the more I think this is right.
Okay.
San
tell.
Junipero was a critically acclaimed episode that everyone loved. It was powerful. It was a good episode of TV.
It was a good
It
episode.
was a very good episode of TV. I feel like Charlie Brooker, the guy who makes this show, has been chasing
that ever since.
And that's what these episodes feel like. They feel like they're chasing their San Junipero moment. And
I liked the Bryce Dallas Howard episode.
I liked that one a lot too. That was great. I used to love Black Mirror.
Oh, I really liked that last one too. The like weird house that they went and they saw.
What?
The museum. The museum trap.
Yeah,
that one. Those were my 3 favorites from the thing. The Star Trek one spoof was.
I like that one a lot.
It was okay.
But yeah, that's all we have to say about that. Wasn't that so much more fun than talking about The Bachelorette? I had so much.
I know
more
you
fun.
had much more fun, but I'm just dying to know what happened with the Luke battle. Luke versus Luke.
One of them goes home. The end. All right. It is
So
time.
excited. I'm not going to have my steroids tomorrow, so I can actually drink wine. Oh, it's my last day of steroids.
I was joking, but I really can't watch it with you. I mean, I start recording at 8:30.
I know, but it starts at 7.
Fuck. Okay. Elyse, let's move on to better and brighter things.
To more beautiful things.
But more pointy.
But, sometimes there's a little bite with the beauty.
Would you say that?
Like me. I've got some bite. And
Yeah,
I'm beautiful.
you do. You do got some bite.
I got some sass in there.
I guess what you're saying is that every rose...
It's Rosies and Thornies time. Okay, and so I'm really excited that I think that we're gonna have to get some Rosies and Thornies merchandise here, and I think that I might need to like trademark this.
We need to design
Rosies
a shirt.
and Thornies.
We do need to design a shirt.
Rosies and Thornies is the Vow to View trademark.
Because I tell you, I ordered.
Coined it. Can we copyright that?
Can we copyright
Rosies
and Thornies?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, we should see if we can.
Did I tell you I ordered a Doof Media coffee mug today?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah. We're looking at the merchandising store and all that stuff, and I was just like, well, I'll just order one and see how it comes out to see if I like this company. So we have a mug coming our way. It's expensive.
You didn't let me pick out the type of mug. I'm very particular about my mugs.
Babe,
Scott?
This is not high quality ceramics here. This is
I'm just saying there are lots of different sizes
basic
and
mug.
shapes.
It's an 11-ounce
to
basic
mugs,
mug.
And it really matters because if you get the mug that's too big, then it puts too much coffee in there and it gets it cold really quickly. But you can't have it too
less
small.
Coffee in there.
I've done that before, and then it's horrible trying to drink that little amount of coffee out of a huge mug.
Elyse, please tell me what your thorn is.
My thorn is mugs.
Mugs.
I'm just kidding. No.
What is your actual thorn?
My thorn is car expenses.
Owning
and cars. And just when you go into the car shop and you say that you want an oil change and you want them to check your tire pressure and it's supposed to take 10 minutes because there's no car there, and then an hour and a half later they say, oh, yay, thanks for the $350 you spent for the new brake pads and brake fluid and waste of your life, basically. Even though you could walk home and have been there for the hour, but they didn't tell you that the 30 minutes it was supposed to take wasn't going to take really 30 minutes.
This is a rant right here. Yeah,
I hate it.
You're telling the story in a very interesting way. Elyse went in for an oil change. They changed her oil.
And you came out a mad woman.
In the process of changing their oil, they do, cursory inspection. They inspect fluids to make sure your fluid levels are okay. They looked at your brake fluid, and your brake fluid.
They've been telling me the brake fluid for like 2 years.
Yeah, because it needs to be changed eventually.
It's been fine
brake
for 2
pads.
years.
Do you know what a brake pad is?
Yes, it protects the router. router. So he said protect something. He was like, it's not there yet, but it probably could be.
You didn't tell me that part. I
Well,
would've
he
said,
was
"Don't
like,
do it."
if you wait any longer, it's going to start rubbing.
Yeah, I mean, like, your brake pads wear out. That's what they
Whatever.
do. Like, that's
Whatever.
parts on cars need to be replaced. I'm sorry.
It was just
it's part of the
frustrating.
thing.
And then, not to mention, they broke my glove compartment.
Yeah, have you called Toyota yet?
No.
Okay, we'll
I'm
do
waiting
that.
on you to call Toyota.
Why do I have to? It's your car. Call
But
Toyota.
you love me, don't you?
I do.
And sometimes I just would like for people to do things for
I
me.
do things for you all the time. I'll call Toyota for you.
Oh, thanks.
I don't have any records of when you bought the car or your VIN number or any of that information, but I'll
Does
call
that
Toyota
really
for you.
matter? Or should we just call the quick car people and say, hey, you broke my glove compartment when I was in there on Sunday.
Sure.
I want you to fix it.
Do that. Sure. Do it.
You'll do that? Oh, thanks.
Okay, I guess I'm
That's
doing that
sweet.
now. So is that it? That all your thorn?
Uh-huh.
All right.
What's your thorn?
Time. I hate it. It's just
Do you hate it? Or do you like love it and then you hate it?
I
Because
love
like
it
you
'cause
love
I
it
hate
so
it.
much.
I
you
love
love
it.
to hate it.
I love it. I love hours. I wish there were so many more hours.
Ugh.
God, can you imagine if there was like 50 hours instead of 24?
But really, who's to say there's not 50 hours?
The sun
I
and
mean,
the rotation of the earth.
maybe. But if you really think about it, like, why? Why put the constraint of time?
Because how do you know where to be? Are we really talking about just the concept of time right now?
I mean, yes.
I mean, time is a flat circle, right?
Yeah.
So my point here is that like my life's really busy right now, and there are so many things I wish I was doing. I wish I could stream video games every day and do that. 'Cause
I could do that.
I was really enjoying that, and I wish I could do it. You could do it. Why aren't
I
you
could
doing
do that right now.
Why aren't you doing that?
Why aren't I
You could be
doing that
streaming
right now?
all day. You could be building the brand from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
You know
every
what,
single
Scott?
day.
Maybe I will stream video games tomorrow.
Okay. You need me to teach you how to
Maybe
do it.
Wednesday. Tuesday, I'm booked.
Why don't we do it Thursday when I am taking off from work and I could teach you how to do it?
We have to go get your jeans that day.
Damn it. The point is, like, there's so many things I wish I could be doing. There's so many shows I wish I could do. Like, you're this place where like you have ideas and you have ideas.
I have
and you have
so many
things you want to
ideas.
accomplish, and so many of them. But
And then it's like, how do you do them all?
you can't.
How do you do them all? And
cannot
how do you do them all sufficiently? You know,
can't.
like
Can't.
you just got to pick. You've got to
have
pick
to.
which seed you want to plant and water and let it grow.
Mm-hmm.
And then those other seeds, you just have to let them dry out and shrivel up
And die.
and then store them so that then later they can be planted and turn into their own flowers.
And then a thunderstorm comes by and just fucking knocks your tree down.
Yeah, but not ours, thankfully.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a time.
Guys, we had a storm in Dallas. And
Yeah,
it
we had a
wrecked
bad storm.
Dallas.
Bad storm.
Bad
We got
storm.
very lucky.
We did.
But yeah, I mean, it's just for some reason this week in particular, I was like sitting there planning out my week, like thinking all the things I have to do, all the things I want to do. Like I want to read all the books I want to read. I want to play all the games I want to play. I want to watch all the movies I want to watch. I want to make all the shows I want to make. I want to do all these things. I want to hang out with you. Like I want
Yeah.
like and
I'd like for you to hang out with me too.
there's not enough time, guys. So my
Just
thorn
got to prioritize.
is the concept of
Yes.
time. I hate it.
The concept of time.
Ugh, it's the worst. Elyse,
Who was it? Those Greeks?
that invented time?
Those Mayans?
No, they did.
Discovered,
they
let's
make-
just all make this calendar and all live by it. They put the watches on your wrist because it's a shackle.
Before the Greeks, everyone was just hanging out, just kind of floating around, not knowing what. And the
And they're
Greeks,
like, yes, when the sun gets to that cloud over there.
nobody before the Greeks
No.
did anything to do with the passage of time. You're right. You're absolutely right. They just had no idea.
They didn't. None at all.
Nothing. No agricultural society before the ancient Greeks dealt with the passage of time. You're
The
right.
dinosaurs could tell time.
They could.
They were
Interesting.
very good at
Interesting.
it.
How?
Yeah.
How?
And then they were like, oh my gosh, the alarm clock. They kept pressing snooze too many times.
Now what-
And had they stopped pressing snooze and really ran when they should have, the flood, and they'd still be here.
Now, what does a dinosaur alarm clock look like?
Now, the dinosaur alarm clock, it's a very tricky contraption. It takes one tiny, tiny little pebble, and the pebble is balanced very carefully on top of an egg. And the egg, it teeter-totters back and forth with the sun. Yes, and
With the sun?
The sun.
How does the sun make the egg?
The heat of
Oh,
the
I
sun,
see.
it makes the yolk attracted on the inside of the egg lean one way. And
interesting.
they have to tip it ever so often back to the opposite side to keep it balanced.
The dinosaur has to tip it
With their teeth.
with their teeth.
Yes, it's very tricky indeed. And when they tip it back and it's balanced again, then they can sleep. But they always have to keep their eye popping open so they don't really get to sleep because they got to make sure they keep it balanced. And then
So when the alarm goes off, what happens?
that's when the egg breaks. And they have to get a new egg for the next day.
Is it one of their eggs?
No, they wouldn't waste their own children on this stupid contraption.
My favorite part of this is how hard you were struggling with laughing the entire time.
Pretty good idea, though, isn't it?
No, it's not.
To be coming up with it so quickly, though.
Yeah, it shows.
What? No.
So there we have it.
Are you crying?
Yes, a little
Why are you crying?
Because you made me
Are
laugh.
you sad about all of those little animals that died because their eggs were sacrificed to the sun god?
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, Elyse, why don't you tell me what your rose is this week?
Yes. Well, see, yours is there's no time. Mine is I have all the time to do things that I haven't gotten to do in so long, like read.
You're a reading fiend.
I have
right
gotten
now.
to read so many books so far this summer, and it has just been absolutely marvelous. And
How many books have you read so far? This is your third week of summer vacation?
Yes, this is the start of my third week of summer.
I think it
Time
is.
has already just lost. I think, let's see, how many books have I read already? Quite a few, I do believe. I finished another one today. I have read 1, 2,
I think you're up to
3,
7.
4, 5. Oh, this is not in order.
I have your Goodreads up. You read 7 books.
Oh, I've read 7 books so far. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
pretty good.
babe. Proud of you.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you enjoying these books you're reading?
Some of them more than others, yes.
You want to give us a quick rundown of the books you're reading?
Let's see here. There were 2 children's books that I wanted to read that I had bought. One was the Newbery Award winner called Mercy Suarez Changes Gears. It's just a basic coming of age story about a little girl who's going through a hard time at middle school, and she's going through some family things. It was okay. I've read some other Newbery books in the past that I have liked more, and then some other ones that were nominated and didn't win. It was okay. Not my favorite Newbery winner ever. I really liked The Girl Who Drank the Moon a couple years ago. And then I really liked another book that was nominated called Wolf Hollow a couple years ago. But it was okay. And I'm not going to go into it. I read The Unteachables, which was a book that we had started reading with our kids in library. It was about a group of kids in middle school who were grouped into a self-contained classroom deemed The Unteachables, and how they worked to save a teacher. Read The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. Fairly disappointed with how cyclical it was, but there were some good things in there. Read Failure is an Option, an attempted memoir.
That's the H. John Benjamin
Yes.
memoir. I read that too. It was fine.
It was fine. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Had that on the list for a long time to read. They turned it into a musical. I liked that one okay. Behind Closed Doors. Disappointed with that one. Heard it was a thriller. Heard it kept some of my people that I work with up all night with like some psychological distress. So I was really expecting
Were
some...
you distressed psychologically?
No, nothing. Then I read Mistborn.
You liked
Some
that.
people said it was good. I don't know.
Elyse is a fantasy elitist. She only reads the finest of the fantasy
But now
novels.
I'm reading a book called Shout by a young A children's author named Laurie Halse Anderson.
Young A?
Young A.
YA.
Young A.
What?
YA, Young A. We've had this discussion before.
Nobody calls it Young A.
I do. I've done it before. You said the same reaction last time that I did that, and we're just going to gloss over it.
Okay.
So
But you're still
this
wrong.
Is
This is like
her
Sunshades.
memoir, but it's poetry, and it's about the time that she was sexually assaulted and not listened to, and it came out around the Me Too movement. And I am already almost in tears reading through Things in Her Child. It is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it through without crying. It's so far my favorite that I have read. And
Cool.
I'm only 40 pages into it.
I don't want to make any jokes at all. So
Yeah.
we'll just move right along.
Yeah, it's called Shout.
Shout.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the author again?
Laurie Halse Anderson or Halse Anderson. I don't remember.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of books. Keep it up.
Yeah. And I already have my next ones. I'm so excited. And I already have my 3 books for the beach. I'm so excited about those 2. If I don't get to them beforehand, I might just need to use my library card and stop buying them.
Yeah, probably. We're running out of space on our shelf already, too.
My shelf.
Our shelf.
My shelf.
What's yours is mine. Marriage. Hashtag marriage.
Maybe. What's your Rosie?
My Rosie is E3.
Yes.
Do you know what E3 is?
So as I was watching this, or not watching this, as I was slightly distracted as I was reading my book, I remembered that this is the Square Enix. Is that what this is?
The thing I was watching right before we started recording.
Yes.
Yes, that is.
Yes. This is this video game conference that's held every year, right? About all these new video games that are coming out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
called
remember you
the-
talking about it last year.
Did
or
I?
maybe the year before.
It's called the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
E cubed.
E3.
E cubed.
No.
I'm going to call it E cubed
Okay, you'll
with my young A sunshades.
go for it.
Yep.
Go for it. Just stake your claim in wrong town.
Rosies and Thornies became a thing.
Sure.
It did.
Sure.
I'm just saying, Rosies and Thornies became a thing.
It did.
E cubed.
E cubed.
Young A.
Anyway, so yeah, E3 is going on right now. Every year it is a what?
E cubed.
No. Every year it's this huge expo in Los Angeles, California, where they basically talk about video games all year. And as we were just talking about, I don't have a lot of time these days, and so I
yes.
don't get to play near as many games as I want to. But E3 is cool. Cool. Adult me getting to watch E3 is always cool because I'm like, wow, look at all these games I'll never have time to play. But at least I can like board the hype train a little bit on some of them. You know, like they really the conference we were just watching before we came here was
Yeah.
the Square Enix one. They talked about the remake of Final Fantasy VII, which was one of my favorite games as a child. So I'm very excited to get to play that again, maybe next year.
Maybe.
They talked about the Square
let's
Enix
carve
is
out some
working on a
time.
new Avengers game, and that's
yes.
very exciting. It's just
Actual actors that play the characters in the movies do the voices?
no. This is how I
What?
know you were only half paying attention because they literally brought the voice actors onto a stage and talked to them all.
Why would they not have the voices of the actual actors? That just screws everything up.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you are aware of the concept of money, but
So the dinosaurs used money. Do you want to know about the dinosaur money?
Sure. How
I
did
don't want to
the
tell about the dinosaur money. It's
was-
a really
it
big
was- it
process
was a
with
pebble
scales.
on an egg.
No. The dinosaur money is the scales, and it was really hard.
so by scales, do you mean like scales, like balancing scales?
Yes, and this is where we have multiple meaning words come into play.
Because if you're gonna say scales
Mm-hmm.
in reference to dinosaurs,
Yes.
for me to speak on behalf of all 8 to 10-year-old boys, I will have to tell you that dinosaurs do not have scales.
Yes, they do.
No.
Yes, they do. That's what they grow, and that's what they make with their. That's how they keep their money.
So their money is they grow their money.
Yeah,
Okay.
money does grow on dinosaurs, Scott.
So it doesn't. We were getting the expression wrong the entire time.
I know.
Money does not grow on trees.
It's not
it grows
trees.
on dinosaurs.
It's dinosaurs.
And that's why the extinction of the dinosaurs was such a massive event because now we
Exactly.
have a limited pool of money.
We solved world problems here today,
Bring
Scott.
back the dinosaurs. John Hammond, we need you right now.
You're our only hope, John.
Jurassic Park was actually just a bank.
It's true.
Anyway, E3. I
Yeah.
love it.
Good,
I've enjoyed.
I'm so glad.
It's been kind of a lame year for E3. It hasn't been like super exciting, but I still like. I was at work today and I was working away, and on my second screen I had one of the
great.
streams up, and I was
That E-Cubed conference.
yeah, and so I was just it's cool. It's just cool. Like as a kid, you have all this time and no money, and as an adult, you have money and no time. But so at least I can live vicariously through other people enjoying
That's nice.
and getting excited over these games.
That's good.
So that's E3. Nintendo's conference is tomorrow. I'm pretty excited
Nintendo.
about it. Nintendo doesn't do a press conference anymore. They just release a video on YouTube, and I don't know what's going to be on there. We were
Any
told
ideas?
we were told
Predictions?
today, at least, that we have to play the new Zelda game.
We do, you and me.
Well, I mean, they said me, but then I said it's difficult for me to play games because my wife keeps taking all my time. So if I get her in on it too, then we're more likely to do it. So I told them I would play you a trailer of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and if you liked it, we would get the game.
What sort of mechanism do I use as my controller? Is it a computer or is it?
It's a Nintendo game, so it's the Nintendo controller. If you
it's
turn
the
around,
Nintendo
it's on the shelf right
controller.
behind you.
The red and blue one.
Yes.
But we only have one of those.
Well, it's a one-player game, so it's immaterial. We would be either taking turns, or one of us would be backseat gaming.
So this is really just me watching you play.
or you watching me.
That's what I just said. Me watching you play.
Look, Girlfriend Reviews turned you watching someone play into a business.
And
they
they've
monetize
already
their
cornered
relationship.
that market. They've got it.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't mean you can't just watch me play video games. At least we got to talk about this movie now.
Oh yes, we did watch a movie this week. We watched a movie that I grew up watching called 3 Men and a Little Lady. Are you
Okay.
ready for me to talk about it?
I am.
You ready for me to read your summary?
I
It's
am.
2 paragraphs.
I know.
That's a lot,
It
Scott.
is.
You wrote 2 paragraphs while you were at work today?
Uh-huh.
So distracted.
I know,
Okay.
I stole 2 paragraphs worth of time from my company.
Okay. Well, in this movie, Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Guttenberg play 3 men that stole a baby and decided to raise it together. Unfortunately, the baby's mom showed up and wanted her baby back. Then she decided to live with them. This is the sequel to that movie in which everyone is happy living together until they suddenly aren't happy living together anymore. The little lady, formerly a baby, is moved to England with her mom because she's in love with some rich jerk instead of Tom Selleck, who she should be in love with. All of the 3 men are very distraught about this, so they go to England to re-kidnap the baby. Then Tom Selleck shows up and says, "Hey, I have a mustache." And the British lady remembers she's in love with him, and they all go back to New York to live together, blissfully happy in their Stockholm Syndrome. 3 stars.
How was that? Was it good?
I think it missed a little bit.
What did
But,
I miss?
you know.
What did I miss? I got it all. I got it all.
No, so they didn't steal the baby.
Okay. Well, they didn't make it very clear in the movie. See, here's the
It
problem.
was so clear in the movie.
Here's the problem here.
The problem with the movie was we're in the kitchen trying to make you some lunch. And I said, Scott, you need to come in here. They're recapping the movie. It's important to see. And you obviously were more concerned about heating up that chicken sausage with the spicy mustard than paying attention to what was going on in the recap.
Hey, you know what? After watching that movie,
What?
no regrets. Chicken sausage, delicious.
I'm going to return
3 men
that mustard that I
and a-
bought for you today.
You bought me mustard?
Yes, it was a non-perishable that I could buy.
3 men and a little lady, not up to my chicken sausage
I
standards.
say non-perishable because these people don't know that our grocery store was out of power for the better part of yesterday. And so I went to the grocery store to pick up groceries so I could make dinner tonight. Lo and behold, everything that I would need is a perishable item and it was gone. Like literally no meats, no dairy, no vegetables, nothing. So I bought spicy mustard and tuna salad.
Must have
or
been
tuna
expensive
to
for
make the tuna salad.
the grocery store.
Yeah, all the frozen aisles had carts in front of them. You couldn't go back there to get anything. I mean, they're
Sucks.
just like, they were working to restock. They just hadn't.
Anyway, Elyse,
Yes.
tell me why you picked this movie, and then in your explanation for why you picked this movie, tell me why you did not pick the first movie, even though I hadn't seen that one either.
Because I really had watched Three Men and a Little Lady a lot more than I had watched Three Men and a Baby. And I saw Three Men and a Little Lady before I even saw Three Men and a Baby. And I remember watching Three Men and a Little Lady a lot more.
Okay, so that's why you picked this one.
Yeah.
Okay, but why'd you pick this just in general?
Because there's
the
three
theme was
dads.
dads we love,
Yeah,
right?
three
And you
dads.
love all these dads.
It was the 90s, okay? They were fun guys in the 90s.
They're just some fun
They're
guys.
just fun.
Just some fun 90s guys.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like this movie.
It's not a great movie. I will give you that. But Ted Danson's hilarious.
And I wonder, like, that's part of my confusion is, like, was Three Men and a Baby a good movie? Because obviously it was good enough to get a sequel.
See, was it good enough to get a sequel, or were they popular enough at the time in order to get a sequel? That's the true question.
You mean the actors?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not always, is the movie good? It's, do they have enough momentum at the time? And I think that those three people in combination with each other had enough momentum at the time.
Yeah, you got Magnum PI.
Yes.
You got Cheers.
Yeah.
You got Steve Gutenberg.
Gutenberg. See, I think of him from It Takes Two with Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Of course you do.
I love them.
It's a classic Elyse thing. Yeah. So this is like I said, this is a weird movie. So like, it doesn't. I missed the recap, I guess, which probably would have explained
Okay, and
anything.
so what happens
but I don't think it would have
is,
explained anything.
well, okay, so Ted
so
Danson.
there's 4 people living together.
Yes, there's 4 people living
None
together.
of them are related to each other. 2 of them fathered and mothered,
Yes.
sired the baby,
Yes.
the titular baby.
Hooked up, had a kid.
But they're not together anymore.
No.
But sometimes they talk and joke as if they're together. It was very confusing for me. Like, they all, like, are just kind of in this, like, this co-parenting but also like co-relationship situation where like
Yes.
Ted Danson was like I think he kissed her and I was like, what?
Yes.
What's going
They're
on?
actors.
And then of course the little lady is dealing.
So cute.
I bet the baby would have been cuter, but she is dealing, like, they're going to the scene where they're going to the new school and they're like, oh, your living situation is so strange.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come to the school because 3 daddies.
Mm-hmm.
And that, didn't they say it was like illegal?
Yeah, one of the
live
little
with.
students was like, it's illegal to have more than one dad.
Yeah. Oh, the 90s.
Yeah.
I just like this is very much one of those like movies I saw as a kid that's just kind of random nonsense. Like, it's just one of those movies that I think the Beverly Hills Troop Beverly Hills felt a lot like that to me. Where
I
it's
guess
like,
I can
it's just
see
kind
that.
of a random nonsensey kids movie that like not a lot happens. So that, like, we kind of jokingly outlined the plot of this movie, but the plot of this movie is the woman, the kid's getting older, right? And so
Yes.
as the kid ages, there's complications around her becoming a little lady. But the movie doesn't really deal with that. The movie is more focused on Sylvia, the mother, and her kind of search for meaning in her life. She wants to get married. She wants
Getting
to
a
have more
dad
kids.
for the kid. Yeah.
Well, she's not worried about that because she has 3 dads for the kids. But she wants a relationship. And of course, she's an actor, and her director is a British like a stereotypical British snobby guy. That's like the exact kind of
Long
it's the exact
hair.
kind of foreign role you'd write for a kids movie that just
Yes.
doesn't have to be anything more than one note, right? It just can be this one-dimensional, boring, just asshole character, and that's exactly what he is. Tom Selleck like clearly is in love with her, which takes a while to figure out because you're like, is Tom Selleck the dad? No, Tom Selleck's not the dad. It was Ted Danson's the dad, but Ted Danson's being really buddy with her.
But Tom Selleck is the fatherly figure of the relationship
right, like
between
that's the
all
weird,
of them.
like Tom Selleck is more of a dad than any of the other 2 dads, but Ted
It's the
Danson is
mustache.
the biological dad, and it's just like. Maybe if I had seen the other movie, this would have been easier for me
Maybe
to parse. But I was just
you
like,
just
what?
need a mustache.
No.
You
I
don't
like
want a
my
mustache?
beard. I like my beard.
Okay.
Don't mustache me.
Okay.
So
trying to make you like
yeah,
Tom
Selleck
Selleck.
is in love with her, but he feels like he can't say anything because like Ted Danson's character is probably going to get back together with her. That's what he says, but it's just a bullshit excuse because he wants to be a coward. So like she's like, fine, if you won't tell me you love me. I'll go to the first asshole that likes me, which is an incredibly rich British director. So they move to England. She takes the child away from her 3 fathers to move to England to chase this life on basically a whim. And then they go after her.
I mean, he'd asked to marry her before.
And then nothing happens for a while.
They were going to send the girl to boarding school. You can't send a little lady to boarding school.
Yeah, so like...
Don't get rid of the kid because you don't want to have any kids around.
I feel like here's my analysis of what I think the first movie was about. A baby shows up on the doorstep of these 3 guys.
Yes, it does.
They're 3 bachelors.
Yes.
And a baby shows up on their doorstep.
Indeed.
And the movie is a comedy about 3 bachelors dealing with taking care of a baby.
It's true. You're correct.
And that is a good idea for a movie. That's a great idea for a movie. I love it.
Okay.
I wish we had seen that movie.
Do you want to watch it? We could watch it.
Well, no, not. It's sorry.
Time.
The situation's gone. This movie is just like, okay, well now the baby's older and there's this complex relationship. It's just like, who is this movie for? Because I think kids would find this really boring.
I enjoyed it though when I was a kid because I was like, oh my gosh, all these 3 little dads, they're like so fun. They're very different. And you wanted to be the little girl. The Ted Danson character is fun.
He's kind of fun in a weird way.
Yeah. He's fun. And then you're like, oh, yay, we get to move to England and we get to go to boarding school. Oh, no, I don't want to go to boarding school. Don't send her to boarding school. No. And you're like, Mom.
Was that your reaction?
And then you're like, oh, no, you can't marry the evil guy. Don't marry the evil guy. And then they put the weird butler in there that like played hide and go seek and tried to start the wave just because they're like trying to get humor for kids in there. And then it's just, Ted Danson comes back at the end. He wraps it all up in a nice package with the whole acting as the vicar. And it's just, for a little kid. For a little kid. It just made you happy.
I've got it, Elyse.
Okay.
I've got it.
Okay. I'm ready.
This movie is Parent Trap. If Parent Trap was told from the perspective of the adults and not the kids. And nobody wants to see that movie. Nobody wants to see Parent Trap from the perspective of the adults. Screw the adults. Nobody cares about the adults.
We're adults. Do you want people to care about us?
No, I don't. Not if there's a little lady in the picture. Little lady.
Well, we have no little lady. We want people to care about us.
I think it would have been it would have been a much more interesting movie if they really focused on the complexities of the living arrangement, right? Like the complexities of, okay, you have a little girl, and when she's a baby, you're all teaming up and taking care of it, and everything's clicking and it's working together great. And she's starting to get older now. And what happens to that? Like she's challenged, and it seems like that's what they were going to do, but they just
then they went away and they moved to England.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's what I wanted to see is like a story where this little lady is dealing with her unusual home situation that is perfectly fine. And like the movie has gay panic in it, which is just a classic 90s thing. It's just like, oh, so the 2 of you are homosexuals. And they're like, what? No. Which is just, that's so 90s. I don't know. I'm sorry, babe. I know you watched as a kid. I probably will love the baby one. I guarantee. Is there a scene in 3 Men and a Baby where the baby pees on one of them?
Yes, I'm sure.
And throws up on them.
Oh, yes.
Hilarious. That's the stuff. I'd greenlight that in a moment.
You didn't like the conversation that she had with him at Central Park over lunch.
Oh, the penis conversation. That was the best part of the movie. See, I wanted the movie to be more of that. More of the little lady asking what a penis is in public and them having to answer. That's great stuff.
That was funny.
That's great stuff.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah. Okay. And instead, we have this long-ass scene.
And you missed when she came back and she shook her head at them. I was so upset with you.
What was that accent?
What accent? It's my voice.
I was so upset with you. Instead, we get this long ass scene where the two of the dads are driving in a little tiny car in London, and they do the on the wrong side of the road joke, which just great. It really just had to really dig deep into the comedy chops to tell a wrong side of the road joke. It's really fucking fantastic.
Bummer.
Okay,
well,
I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry.
You gave it 3 stars. That's fine.
I was a joke. That part was a joke. The 3 stars part. I didn't.
You gave it 3 stars.
I didn't want to, though.
Did you give it 3, 1 for each dad? Each dad got 1 star.
Oh, sure, Elyse. I gave it 3 stars, 1 for each dad.
So, did you learn anything about relationships in this movie, Scott?
Did I learn anything about relationships? Yeah, I did.
What did you learn?
If you like someone, tell them. Just tell them you like them.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Not that hard. Worst case scenario, they'll reject you. Then you have to live in a house with them and raise the child with them anyway. Worst case. Not a big deal. Don't hook up. If you're in a play with someone, don't hook up with them.
That's a good lesson.
You could make a baby. You don't want to make a
It's
baby.
a lesson. It's true.
Although it would make a great movie. Not the sequel of that movie.
And a bride.
What did you learn anything about relationships?
It takes a village, Scott.
It does. It is actually a good picture of what actually raising a child used to be like back in the old days when we lived in villages.
What it really, yeah. I mean, I really do think that. What do you mean? No. I really do think that it does take a lot more than just the two people who are the parents, and that by spacing, out a lot, it gives more. Just with the day and age that we're in, there's a lot of complexity that comes with parenting, I feel like, and having the village aspect from a long time ago. I think it was not that it was just easier on the parents, but I think that it helped developmentally some with children. And I think that they're lost on that sometimes nowadays. And it's sad.
Yeah.
Having not ever raised children myself.
Sure, but I mean, I think we've talked to enough people that have raised children that I talk to Matt all the time, and he's like, we weren't meant to do this thing by ourselves. Like the whole, like biologically, the way we're supposed to work as a species is we hang out in small groups together, and the group takes care of each other, and that includes the rearing of the children. That's the way it was supposed to go, and we've kind of moved away from that, and that's why long sleepless night, exhausted parents, like overburdened and overwhelmed parents. That those stereotypes of childbirth and having kids are because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
I mean, I'm watching Downton Abbey right now. And they have the nanny who just takes care of everything. See the child for an hour a day before tea time. Child's happily taken care of. It's great. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It helps when you're rich.
I mean, it would help if this just kind of takes off, and then we can just have our own village of people.
Oh, this takes off? Like this podcast right here? Yeah. Give us $1 million, please, and then we can have all the kids we want.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the part of the show where we compare and contrast the two movies. So once again, we have Vacation and
Three Men
and a Little Lady. Let's do one clear thing here. Best dad goes to Three Men and a Little Lady. Tom Selleck in that movie is a much better dad.
That is true.
Than Chevy Chase is in Vacation.
Very, very true.
But it does have people going a far distance for the sake of their children.
That is true as well. Yes.
London is basically the Wally World of Europe, right?
I guess so. Sure. There's old people in both of them.
Really? There's old people in both of them? There's young people in both of them, too.
There are young people in both of them.
There are humans in both of the movies. There are cars. There are buildings.
One, it was about...
Oxygen is prominently featured.
I'm trying to get profound here. One was about a family that was an actual family together. One was about a family that they made as a family together.
I like that. One is Vacation tells the story of a very traditional nuclear American family. Three Men and a Little Lady came out later. We're starting to explore that concept of what a nuclear family is, of what a traditional family in society is. Sometimes you have two moms. Sometimes you have two dads. Sometimes you have no dads or no moms. Sometimes you have three dads
and one mom. Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's profound, Elyse. Yeah. Very profound.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So that is all for Three Men and a Little Lady. Tom Selleck's the best of the three dads.
Oh,
right?
by far. Yeah. By far.
Like, let's talk about Gutenberg. What? I mean, I know he had to be in this movie because it's three men, but that dude had nothing to do.
He didn't really do much at all.
It's all about...
He wasn't the dad that was like the true dad. He wasn't the biological dad. He was just there.
He was the dad that was going to bone his girlfriend in the house, which is against the clear dad house rules.
Yeah.
And then the little lady barged in in what could have been Bonetown.
She
And that would have
did.
been really awkward.
That would have been. Then she would have really gotten her anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, you wanted to see what... I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's probably not
That's
good.
too far.
Okay, Scott. So what are we going to do after this now that we've wrapped up Dad Week? 'Cause Father's Day is on Sunday, and we're going to just forget about the dads.
Well, Toy Story 4
Oh, yeah.
is coming out.
That is why we are going to take a look back at some of our classic Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, and-
Serial Party.
Yeah, just some cartoon movies from our childhood. I have not picked one yet because I think you've seen all the ones that I'm working on it. Working on it.
Well, and I am also going to institute that when we watch this, we have to be eating cereal.
Okay, that's
Is
fair.
that okay?
Yeah, so we're going to call it Serial Party. So can I pick a Saturday morning cartoon? Can I just pick a Saturday morning, like not a movie? Can I just pick a cartoon TV show?
If you wish.
I got a lot of this.
If you wish.
Should I do the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon?
I watched that.
Which one? There were a lot of them, Elyse.
I don't
Sing the
remember.
intro. Sing the intro to the one you watched to me.
I don't remember, but I played the video game too.
Should I do Dino Riders? Ooh.
I don't know if I watched Dino
Ooh,
Riders.
Dino Riders. Finally, an excuse to talk about. Hold on. Before-
Dinosaurs! Are they going to have my alarm clock in there? Hang on. Is this the one that I watched when Dino Riders? I actually think I watched Dino Riders.
Don't take this away from me. We're not doing this right now.
Oh, no, I didn't watch Dino Riders. I watched that other dinosaur one. What's that other dinosaur one with the people and the puppets who walk around?
Dinosaurs?
Is it called Dinosaurs?
The TGIF comedy show?
I don't know.
I think I'm having a little trouble here because I think Dino Riders doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yes. No, it is Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
watched a whole bunch.
Oh, I used to
Anyway,
watch that. They're really
It's
creepy
It's
looking.
not a cartoon. So I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not a cartoon.
Elyse,
Mm,
what
yeah.
are you doing for Serial Party? What is your pick?
I was going to pick a movie
Fine.
that I used to watch
Fine.
when I was
Great.
little. I picked Swan Princess.
Swan Princess. Love
Yeah.
it. Never seen it. No idea what it's about.
It's not going to be great,
Fantastic.
but I'm so excited. I loved that movie.
Can't wait. Next week we start Serial
I
Party.
think it'll be better than Rockadoodle. I
Well,
hope.
that's a very low bar, but good. So next week we're going to do Serial Party and start it with Elise's pick, Swan Princess, and then we'll do my pick after that, which will be something to be decided. But yeah, so that's happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and don't forget to say the same
It's on Hulu
to
for
your
free.
fathers. Well, good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all we have time for you this week. If you like this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows out that we do at www.doofmedia.com. And Elyse, if they want to support us, how do they do that?
They can go to patreon.com/doofmedia.
How to do the backslash again. How much can they donate?
They can donate any amount that they want to, but we do not take dinosaur scales.
And what do they get if they donate?
If you donate, maybe one day you could get a mug.
Maybe one day you can get a mug.
And you can get access to the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get access to the Q&A that sometimes I'm on. And you can make our lives happier. Thank you.
And if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, we really would appreciate it if you take the time to leave us a rating and a review. Every one of those does help us out, helps people find us, helps people take us seriously. And we demand
I
be
don't
taken
need to
seriously.
be taken seriously all the time, but thank you.
Hey, Elyse,
Yes,
this was fun.
it was.
Thanks.
Did you learn a lot about me?
I learned a lot about dinosaurs. That's for damn sure. I love
That's
you.
good. I love you too.
We'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye-bye.